Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Zarina, and today I'm back on the floor of my bedroom with my coffee in my hand talking about the books I have read in May. Let's get started. I want to do this fairly quickly. So I'm gonna open up my Goodreads because I write reviews religiously. As soon as I am finished with the book, I just go on Goodreads and give my 2 cents, even though nobody cares. I think I have read 9 books throughout this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9 books. It was a fairly good month, though it started really badly. So all the books that I consumed this month were audiobooks. Aside from Misery, I took that from a library, so I gave that away, so I don't have any other physical books right now. So the first book I read in May was Legends and Lattes, and honestly, I did not like that. I gave that 2 stars, and the reason that I don't give 1 stars but give 2 stars even though I didn't like the book is for the effort. I spent time reading that, the author spent time writing that, and the editors spent time on it. But whenever I do give 1 stars, it's when, even though I made the effort to finish the book, I feel like the editors and the authors did not put enough effort. Don't come for me. You can go and look at my Goodreads. I don't give many 1 stars, and if I do give them, I feel very justified in that, and I usually have paragraphs of texts why I did not like the book. But when I do like the book, I just don't talk about it enough, I think. Anyways, but yeah, with the Legends and Lattes, just like the book that I gave 1 star to, the Days at the Morisaki bookshop, I feel like this was kind of where the author took everything that readers may like and combined all of them and didn't even care if the plot was plotting, you know? So I don't even remember the characters anymore. It's been like 30 days, 31 days. I had such difficulty knowing who we were talking about. The cover has 2 characters, and for a long time I couldn't identify which one are we talking about right now. And then we were introduced to the other character. Only then I could tell, oh, we were talking about this character. Anyways, even though I'm still on the fence, maybe I did not now identify them correctly. I don't know. To be honest, at this point, I don't care. Anyways, 2 stars, that was awful. That was awful. And then I read another awful book. I actually DNF'd that. I tried to read Misery by Stephen King, and I was trying to do a reading vlog on that, but it was dragging for so fucking long. I stopped. I DNF'd that book. It consumed enough of my time already. I stopped. Anyways, and then I gave that 2 stars. And then I listened to Thank You for Listening, which is written by my favorite narrator, Julia Valen. I have never read her like any other works. I think she has 2 books. This is her second, I think. This book had everything that I love about Emily Henry books, which is that even though it is categorized as romance, it's not dwelled on romance. The plot does not move because of the romance. It is like slice of life book, which is something I really look forward to. Like, even with the TV shows that I watch, with movies that I watch, this is what I like. And it was not just about the romance between the characters. The next book I listened to was His and Hers by Elise Feeney. I gave that 4 stars. I liked it, but not as much. Since this book, I have read another Elise Feeney book, and I feel like I'm confusing that with that. This is one thing that I don't like with the thrillers. They all look similar. Okay, I remember the story. It was kind of convoluted, but it was fun nonetheless. The name of the book doesn't make sense in my opinion. That is why I was having such a hard time remembering what the story was. But yeah, it was good. Not my favorite by Alice Feeney. Next book I listened to was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have waited for this book on Libby for 3 months, something like that. I waited for such a long time to borrow this book. I'm guessing you can tell that I am disappointed. I gave that 2 stars, and the storyline was not interesting. That was kind of reminding me of one other book, not because of the plot at all, just the vibes. And I didn't like it. Like, it was like, if you're talking about fairies, it should be like magical, whimsical writing, in my opinion. You could look past bad writing or not good enough writing if the plot is great, but it was not. That's all there is to it. 2 stars. And then next, I listened to Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I gave that 3 stars. It was not bad. I gave that 3.5 to be exact. It was good. It was good, but it felt like a movie, to be honest. And I love when the books make me feel like I'm watching a movie. I love that. And I was listening to the audiobook. I feel like the audiobook narrators gave it away who the killer was. In the beginning, I was like, oh my god, this is like misleading. Like, they are trying to mislead us. They are trying to make us think this is the killer, but they were the killer. Anyways, it was good, but it was not the best. And then next, I listened to Funny Story by Emily Henry. Also, for that, I waited for so long on Libby. I was 101st on the wait list. Anyways, I could finally get my hands on it and listen to it, and it was narrated by Julia Whelan. I loved the story. Again, this was not just about romance, it was like slice of life. I loved it. And it was about healing from your past and finding new friends, like being your own person as an adult in a like adult world. And some people were like, the main character is complaining about making her life around her ex, but now she is creating her life around her new boyfriend. But I feel like they missed the point. The main character exclusively, is that the right usage of word? She made that clear. She doesn't want to make her life around that guy, like the new boyfriend, even though she feels like they will be together for a long time. This is about like finding yourself in a new environment and stuff like that, which is something that I really, really love. It's not just surface level romance, which I, to be honest, hate. I feel like this is just a waste of time. I have the life hypothesis. It is like side point again, tangent. Ali Hazelwood is apparently also a woman in STEM. Like she represents like women in STEM. So you need to be like you know how there is the stereotype that women are not like they don't do logical stuff. They do like all they do is based on emotions, stuff like that. And I understand that romance books require some emotions, but to write that main character like this, I am like my brain, like, why would you, like, I hate when people add to the stereotypes. Like, another tangent, you know, there's a stereotype that women are bad drivers. Like, I don't drive, I don't know how to drive, so I don't know how difficult that is. But if men can do it, women definitely can. So why would you feed the stereotype by being a bad driver? Just be a good driver. I know it is just, it's like, oh, don't be sad. Okay, my sadness is gone. It's not like that though. This is something technical. You could learn, you could practice, you could learn. And when you feed the stereotypes, it is just, I hate that. And the same thing is happening with that book. Like, she went and kissed the first guy she saw because she was convincing her best friend. Like, really? Is that a good starting plot point? Really? It's just a little bit too convenient. Anyways, I hate that. I just want to be done with it. At least I could see like STEM point. And people say that her books are like copy and paste. And as a Frida McFadden reader, like, I don't see any problem with that, like copy and paste plots. But if that is the main character, I am not going to read the other books. I'm just not gonna read the other books. Let's move on to the next book. Next, I read Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I gave that 4 stars, 4.5 stars. I deducted the half stars because of the usage of the name in the book. People sometimes do bad things. Good people, it doesn't feel like an adult wrote those sentences, so I didn't like that aspect. But the story was fine. It was actually, oh my god, I'm gonna insert the diagram that I had to draw on the screen. So if you don't want to be spoiled, look away for a sec, and I will tell you when to open your eyes. So this is the diagram that I had to draw just to keep track of who was who. Now you can open your eyes. Yeah, it was kind of confusing in the beginning, but yeah, 4.5 stars. It was good. Alice Feeney is again my auto read author, so I am going to keep reading her books. And the last book that I read this month was Thunderhead. This is the sequel, the book 2 of Arc of a Scythe series. You may or may not already know that I love Scythe. This is my new favorite book, and this is a dystopian story, and I love dystopian story. I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads, but it's actually 4.5. 0.5 stars is deducted because of the convenience, like because of the villains and the convenience. I cannot talk about this without spoiling the first book and actually spoiling this book as well, so I cannot talk about that. But the villain in this book, it was something that I really dislike. This kind of trope or like storyline has been going on throughout many stories, many books and TV shows. This is something that I don't like. I love this world. I love the writing, and I love the I was gonna say I love the new characters, but the character that I mean by character is not actually a character. If you know, you know. But the actual character came out of nowhere, and I was like, why are we following this character? Is this like what's going on? And if this turns into a, like, there's a third book, of course I'm gonna read. If this turns into a love triangle, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna bash on this series till the end of the day. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, the world is amazing. I love this dystopian world, and I cannot wait to get back to it. So yeah, this is all the 9 books that I read. I also want to quickly talk about the books that are in my June TBR, but I'm gonna talk about them really quickly because I don't want this video to be like hours long. What I do usually is I take books from library and I borrow audiobooks on Libby. I don't want to pay money for the books that I may dislike. So if I had bought that book with my own money, I would have wreaked havoc. So I'm not gonna. That's a library book. So I have I have some library books here, and I have some books that I have borrowed on Libby. So those are the priority reads that I need to get through. This is also for the girlies who can't finish their TBR. There is a trick. If you want to finish your TBR, treat them as if they are library books. You will finish them just like that because you need to give them back, you know. I already have 4 books on my Libby app. I have The Night Circus. I heard about this book from The Clockwork Reader. I love her videos. We don't have the same taste exactly, but I feel like this is something that I'm going to like. And then I have Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. It was in my holds for a long time. I don't know why. Maybe I decided that I want to try some new authors. But yeah, I have listened to that 37% already. So far, I'm not loving it. And then I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I feel like I'm not gonna like it. I love the cover, and if you know me, you know already that I'm a sucker for a good cover. So I am going to consume it, but I am allowing myself to DNF if I feel like this is a waste of time. Though, when they are audiobooks, I can go through them because I read really slowly. I was reading Misery physically, so it took me like 3 hours to go through 100 pages, like 80. I think I left it at 80 pages, and it took me like 3 hours to go through all of that, and like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Audiobooks are fine also because I can listen to them while I do other stuff like my homeworks that I don't need to focus on, or the chores, or while I commute. But when I have to read physically, I need to put away everything aside and do just that. And that is not, if that's not a good, like I read Scythe physically, and I do not regret any second of that. But if it's not a good book, like Life Hypothesis, if I could get the audiobook from Libby, I will listen to that. But reading it, and it is also Stephen King's writing is like, I've never read Stephen King, and that writing in Misery, it was awful. Like I'm not, like I couldn't understand what was going on, because sometimes it could go back and forth between some scenes that I still don't know, and I don't care to find out. I was making a video, as I told before. I was making a video, I was going to read it, and then I was going to watch the movie, but I don't even want to watch the movie anymore because the storyline, the plot was interesting. That's why I started reading in the first place. But it was so dragged so much that I don't even care anymore. Anyways, so let's go back to my books here. And then I have Wool by Hugh Howey. That was recommended to me by a classmate of mine, and the description of the book sounds really interesting. So also, I've been waiting, like she mentioned this book in the beginning of, like, in February or something, so I borrowed it. I put a hold on it on Libby, and now I have it. So it's been like 3 months or something that I've been waiting for it. I've had my hold on it. Anyways, so I have to read these four. I have to listen to these four in the next 14 days. And then I have People We Meet on Vacation. This is another book by Emily Henry, and as you could tell, I love Emily Henry. And then I have Catherine Center's The Bodyguard. I have heard about this book. I feel like I'm not gonna like it, but I just want to try it, you know? And then I need to finish that, The Love Hypothesis. And then I have Red Rising. I have Red Rising, and I feel like this is gonna be a 5-star read. So these 8 books are my, and I have Fahrenheit 451, which I'm going to be buddy reading, someone that I got to know on Instagram. And then I also want to finish my Arc of a Scythe series. I'm gonna listen to the last book from the Scythe series. Again, I did not like how the second book went, and I did not like the ending either, to be honest. These are the 10 books that are on my TBR for June, and hopefully I will get through them. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I hope this was fun. Let me know how May went for you as rating wise, and what are you most excited about to read in June. I am most excited about the Toll and Fahrenheit 455. Both of them are dystopian, and as I've already mentioned before, I love dystopian world. I know we're living in one right now, but that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram. I share a lot of stuff on there. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye. Um, um, mm, um, 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 um,